Who are you?
I'm Asher Roth.
Asher Roth, welcome to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Thanks for having me.
Asher, right off the bat, did you ever give Puff Daddy back his slippers?
I didn't. No, I kept those. I kept those slippers.
What happened? What was the incident?
Wow, we went and we had a steak dinner at his house, and we got to meet Puff, and that was pretty awesome. And he gives house slippers out at his home, and I guess, I don't know if it's one of many, but the Miami one. And I travel around in slippers when I travel because the airport commercial airlines kind of sucks. And I kept those, and they're awesome.
Asher Roth, you have a song called Blunt.
Cruising.
And I wanted to give you a gift to welcome you to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Some fat blunts, a collection of blunt anthems.
Nice. This is amazing.
You know, got some stuff there from the BDP to NWA. Are you into the fat blunts?
The pipe, Far Side. I don't smoke blunts that much anymore, but when I was younger, I absolutely really got into it. Tone Locs, Chiba Chiba, B-Nut, Psycho Dwarf.
Sort of blunt cruising.
Yeah, this is necessary. I don't know how many minivans that I ride and have vinyl record players, but this is cool.
Well, I have some more Canadian-specific drug-related paraphernalia for you.
Great.
Here we have something for you right now, Asher. It's a 7-inch by a band called Orville Drop from Vancouver, and their song is called Jesus Marijuana.
Jesus Marijuana, right up my alley.
Yeah, possibly something that you could sample.
That would be cool.
This is a 1960s obscurity, or 70s, from Vancouver.
So what happens if we sample this and it turns out amazing? We have this all on film, so we'll have to...
I think they would love to get the money. How much money could they get, Asher?
I don't know. Not much for me. Not much for me.
Jesus Marijuana from a Vancouver, BC band. Fat blunts from all over. But another to welcome you to Vancouver as well. The Tommy Chong, Cheech and Chong record that comes with the...
Rolling Papers. It's got to. Does it have the Rolling Papers in
But magically, Asher Roth?
in there?
It's there indeed. The rolling paper.
Goodness. Is it smokable?
It is indeed. And it's usually never there. That's why when you find this record, it's never there. But here it is.
This is amazing. Cheech and Chong.
Welcome to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, Asher Roth.
Man, this is great. This is great.
Asher Roth, you're here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, but you went to school.
Westchester University.
Yes, and it was a book all about Westchester called Wonder.
I don't know. What?
It was a book called Wonderland, all about your high school.
Oh, Pennsbury. Yeah, there was. Yeah, Wonderland High School.
Now, what was the thing about the book? Because you're not even in the book. They were there for like a couple of years, and you don't even show up in the book.
No, I don't know what's going on, but I do know that Miss Snyder slept with my boy Sean Ledger, and I don't know if they picked up on that. I think there was a little bit of teacher-student relationships going on, but... Yeah, Wonderland at Pennsbury High School, yeah.
Pretty fascinating. A whole book about your high school when you were there. Do you remember the guy being there, Bamberger?
Dude, I think he was he an ESPN journalist or something like that? Yeah, he wrote for some, and he kind of like, marched around in lunch and stuff, but nothing was really, that's what was so weird. Like, I think it was because of our prom. Our prom's a big deal. We have this whole kind of homemade prom thing that goes on. It's just like, okay, we're gonna paint the walls and blah, 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 but I think that was more the issue, and then the more interesting things is the teacher-student relationships.
Asher Roth, do you know Big Daddy Roth?
Big Daddy Roth? No, I don't.
Well, let me introduce you to Big Daddy Roth via this CD, which is a soundtrack to a movie about his life, Tales of the Ratfink.
This is great.
Now, Big Daddy Roth was a great cartoonist, artist from the 1960s, and this is the soundtrack by a Canadian band to a movie about his life.
This cartoon looks very familiar from something.
Ratfink, he's the guy who invented it. Big Daddy Roth.
What
And you are?
I'm Little
Asher,
Daddy Roth.
You're Little Daddy Roth, and here is a soundtrack to a movie about his life. So I was thinking another thing that you could sample.
I'm loving these ideas, man. You have ideas out to wazoo. Ba-boom. What is this from?
This is from a movie. It's the Ratfink. You're recognizing it, but...
Dude, where am I? Is Ratfink?
It's popular culture.
But it's like, did they make toys as well?
Yeah, indeed.
Toys, yes, they did. Amazing.
And you're related.
We are. Sure.
Asher Roth, tell me about the Prancing Peacock.
The Prancing Peacock. The Prancing Peacock, my mom teaches yoga, and the Prancing Peacock is where she teaches yoga. Nice.
And she also teaches you about Leonard Skinner.
She teaches me a little bit about Leonard Skinner, yeah.
Crumb Snatcher. Do you know the Crumb Snatcher?
I do. Not I'm not well versed in Crumb Snatcher, but of course.
And why did I give you the Crumb Snatcher? Because if you look on the back, what does it say there?
First of all, you've got produced by Knots, who's the one.
That's it, Mr. Knotts. Did Mr. Knotts, what can you say about Mr. Knotts and Asher Roth? And did he tell you about stuff like Crumb Snatcher?
It's came up in conversation, but Knotts and I have produced a record together called Roth, and we're working on a second one, and he's the man.
I just love the fact that Knotts has done so much. Like the Crumbs, he is incredible. He must have told you about some of the bands he's done and groups.
We were just talking about Cardinal Fischel, who's out here. I don't know, I think Toronto actually. So he's one of my favorite Canadian rappers, and the Firestarter, Quest for Fire is one of my favorite joints. But this is just as good right now. I mean, this is fun. This is great.
Asher Roth, you also were in the studio with Pharrell.
I was in the studio with Pharrell.
Now, I was wondering, I read in the Wall Street Journal,
Yes.
the Wall Street Journal, how Pharrell goes like 11 hours straight and only takes like one piss break. Is it that intense?
Yeah, it's kind of boot camp. We were talking about that on the way over here. It's like Pharrell's great, and it's amazing to be a part of something with somebody who can just take ideas and from conversation and turn it right into song. So that was the first time I'd really experienced that on a professional level, and he did it 11 times in one day. So he's a pro.
Asher Roth, can you tell me about the fun excitement, Carolyn Rees and strip poker?
I mean, what? Strip poker at what? I'm like 16? How did you find that one? That's a good one. Yeah, strip poker with girls. Who else are you supposed to play strip poker with?
But you were having strip poker with Carolyn Rees?
And I don't know if I should say full names. All right, in Sarah's basement, and her parents came down, and we got caught, and it was pretty awkward. One of those first awkward moments.
And then you phoned a radio station?
Yeah, was it 96.5? Was it Wired? Was it Wired or was it PST at that time? And we talked about it. That's good. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, that happened. That really happened. Strip poker.
Well, I think it's great that instead of
like whatever, you got to talk about it. They asked me if I have any awkward moments or what goes on in my life, and that was one of those stories. Yeah.
Instead of running out of the house, you go phone the radio station.
It's like, hey, this just happened. This is what happens on Friday nights in Morrisville, Pennsylvania.
And Carolyn is now into making party cups?
Oh yeah, the Slizzes, yeah. Slizzes. She went to Penn State, and they did a pretty good job. I guess girls are kind of freaked out about chasing vodka or whatever when they binge drink and pass out and get sloppy. They decide the easiest way to do that is put the shot in first. It's like a funny straw. It's like a little funny straw coming from a cup, almost like a martini glass. It's pretty good. It works. And then you pour the juice in and drink it all at once, and it works.
Shout out to strip poker.
Shout out to strip poker and Sliz cups.
Have you been to Ludacris's restaurant Straits?
I have. When it first opened, I was there, and it was cool. I don't really remember. I remember Bieber was there with me and sung to a babe. Like, he was really young at the time. He was like 13, and sung to like a cougar mom, and that was pretty much my story from Ludacris's restaurant.
Does Ludacris show up at all?
Yeah, I mean, when he was there, it was kind of like an opening or first week or so of it. So, he was upstairs, and I got to. There's a video of that, of me just kind of being like, "Oh, hey, yeah." So that was good.
So you, Justin Bieber, and Ludacris.
It's quite the trio.
And what were you eating? It's like fusion food.
Yeah, it's yeah. I don't know. I think there's kind of some beef brisket in there or something. Maybe, hopefully.
What can you tell me about Dwayne, the bartender from Jake's Bar?
Yeah, Dwayne's the man. I have on my birthday, August 11th, Jake's Bar. Dwayne has been there for a while. I guess he's the son of Jake. And 6 packs of Miller Lights, pounders, $5, man. That's awesome.
And that's right near the Rigtown oven?
That's right by the Rigtown. It's connected too, yeah. Shuffleboard and then Rigtown, which they're not dollars slices anymore. They're not. It's $1.25 or maybe $1.50, but Honey Mustard, that's where we got our Dutches, where we would go blunt cruising. And yeah, that was amazing.
And thank you, Radio Shack?
Radio Shack? I don't know about Radio Shack.
I thought it helped when you did your early raps, like for the equipment.
Oh, whoa, yeah. The first verse, well, the first beat, off the books, big puns off the books on Radio Shack. Play and record at the same time with a little microphone. Wow.
No thanks to Pittsburgh Slim?
No, I mean, that's not even personal. That's just the irony of life.
Did you ever see Ego Trip's White Rapper show?
Yeah, hosted by MC Search. Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of that.
That's incredible, isn't it?
It was an interesting time. When that came on and I'm like rapping, it was kind of like, hey Ash, is this what you do? It's like, nah, not so much, sort of, I guess so.
Ego Trips is an amazing production, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, what was that only one season of that? Did they do 2 seasons?
I think one guy, Shamrock, won. I think he was the only winner.
Nice guy. I met him actually at a gym in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for 2 years, and I'm, pumping iron because I'm huge. And Shamrock comes in. He's like, "Hey, Ash, what's up?" I'm just like, "Hey, fancy seeing you here." So yeah, that's real. Shamrock's a nice guy.
Do any other rappers hang out at that gym?
I don't know.
Of all the rappers, did he pick you out, the white guy?
Yeah, it's just like so obvious. It was at LA Fitness, It's great. I should have been swimming laps.
Asher Roth, anything else you want to add to the people out there at all?
Hey, man, keep on blunt cruising in those Chevy Cruises. Be safe. Have fun.
Well, thanks so much, Asher Roth. Keep on rocking in the free world and do-do-do-do.
Pew, pew.
Woo!
Yo, is it true that this is a present from Ma Dukes? And this is removable? I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not even gonna do it. Oh man, I'm gonna sample some of this stuff and I'm not gonna pay anybody.